Well, the basic generalization of what annotating is basically just taking the notes of what you're reading and maybe looking for a deeper meaning in it for what you think that the author is really trying to display.
Pointing out specific words such as circling, highlighting, things of that nature, and then taking notes on the
We're
words.
going to take a look about how to annotate a novel. So the first thing that you're going to be looking towards is your rubric, but the rubric is just more of a guideline as to what you should be looking for in your novel, and I'm going to explain how to do the front cover. So according to the rubric, it says to have like the top points that you have to have excellent notes, which include your characters, your settings, key events, and ideas, and it's really important to note that you have to have page numbers. So, okay, let's just take a look at mine. So, right over here, you're going to see I have all these characters. I have the main characters of the novel, and for this novel, Chronicle of a Death Foretold, the most major one was Santiago Nassar, and you can see I have page numbers 5, 32, and 102. So if you flip to page 32, right here, you can see that I have an in-depth description of what he did on that page as to characterizing him for the novel. Also, what you have to have is just a simple setting as to where the book is taking place, what's going on, and probably an explanation as to why it's significant in the novel. Then something else you're going to need to include are your key events, just so you can have like a basic understanding of what was going on in the novel, because a part of the annotation process is so that you can properly determine or understand like what's going on in the novel and how to break it down.
Okay, so my name is Brandon Sweeney, and I'm going to be showing you vocabulary, insight, and completeness. So let's look at vocabulary first. So you circle and number 20 words within the text of the book that you do not recognize and write the definition of these words at the bottom of the page. So we can see here, like an example in the Chronicles, like you write down page number, page 6, number 1, prostrated, adjective, lying flat or at full length. And then you can also put the source as well. And so this is just showing how you're actually reading the novel and trying to learn new vocabulary as well. Now, the next section that you'll also be doing is insight. And insight is your annotations. So you have to reveal understanding of the complexities of the text. Setting, themes, plot, characterization, and use of rhetorical strategies are analyzed. Connections to other texts are clearly insightful. So what you'll do is basically take your front and back cover, and as you find stuff, you'll write those in there. So the example right here is like you look for author's craft or a metaphor. So trying to put the broken mirror of memory back together from so many scattered shards. So this metaphor here is just talking about like Santiago Nassar's, how he was able to remember certain events. And so this is what we're going to be seeing, that you're going to be looking throughout the novel. Other insight you can be looking for is your symbols, themes, and motifs. So like the example of the symbol of the fatal door. And the text I went with it. The door to the square was cited several times with a dime novel title, The Fatal Door. In reality, the only valid explanation seemed to be that of Placida Linero, who answered the question with her mother's wisdom. My son never went out the back door when he was dressed up. It seemed to be such an easy truth that the investigator wrote it down as a marginal note, but he didn't include it in the report. And so what you'll do is you'll write down that the fatal door is a symbol, and you'll kind of do an analysis of what the fatal door can symbolize. And so right here, it kind of symbolizes fate versus free will, as Santiago Nassar never went out the back door, but that was where he was murdered at.
Hi, my name is Kim Cardoza, and today I will be showing you how to do the inside back cover. So if we take a look at the rubric, in order to get a 20, you have to have an excellent grasp that includes writing a thesis, what you think the author wants you to think or believe. You have to write the themes, the motifs, the symbols, the images, and epiphanies, and also you want page references to show where you have found this in the text. So if we go back here and look at this book, I've used the symbols over here, and the themes will go as such, and then you'll have the motifs and symbols, and then the thesis generally goes on the last page of the novel, since that's the last page that you read. So going to a page number reference, I've stated that one of the themes is society defines a woman's role in society. So it states that the mulatto girls are a perfect example of how women were expected to do domestic things. They served and waited on people all day long, which was 3 days, and they never got breaks or they never stopped. And so when you do the inside back cover, generally what you want to do is take a summary of what you've seen in the novel, and then also just put the page number so you know where to go back if you ever need to reference it.
We're going to talk about Socratic seminars and the significance of annotating before you go into the Socratic seminar. That way you're properly prepared. Now, a Socratic seminar is just essentially a group discussion within the whole class. It's extremely similar to the previously shown fishbowl, whereas in the fishbowl you have 4 people. In the Socratic seminar you have the whole class. So as you can see in this book here, just the significance of annotating beforehand. You can highlight certain things and pull out certain words. Sticky notes on the side probably just signify a theme or motif or something of that sort. And the most essential thing to do in a Socratic seminar is to dig into the text and get more analytical with your speaking and connect it. That way you can help your fellow students annotate, because it's just helpful to have everyone's opinion upon it.
Hi, I'm Kim, and I'm going to be showing you how to annotate a poem. So Brandon, let's come over here, and I'll overview this poem. So this poem is called Memories by Maria, and I'll just read the first stanza. It states that lower in New York City at noon hour, there is a noise, and then the crowded herd of noontime workers flows into the street. My soul bewildered and without retreat, closing its wings and shrinks, a frightened bird. So just a couple of things to annotate for in the poems. You want to look for themes, motifs, symbols, and just other clarifying things, like maybe you have a question about the poem, you can put it down. So over here, I've stated the theme. I stated that the theme of this poem would be leaving one's homeland causes a person to feel misplaced or awkward in another. And up here, since this is italicized, I also annotated that it's basically giving like the time period for the reading and the setting. Moreover, down we get to the word analysis, and you can pull out words like bewildered or without retreat or shrinks or frightened bird. And for frightened bird, I had annotated that it kind of made me feel that the speaker was feeling lonely or afraid and innocent. So those are just a couple of things that you